All right. So very good evening, guys. So let's start with our first lecture on core Java. Okay. So what is the procedure we are going to follow? Okay. What will be the learning mechanism? Let's understand that quickly. See, when you're learning any programming language, not just core Java, any programming language on this earth, when a beginner starts learning, it is always word by word they try to begin their journey. I mean, they understand the meaning of words. Suppose you want to learn Kannada, right? You will firstly understand the meaning of word. Okay, for example, you'll ask, what do you call for lunch in Kannada? What do you call lunch in Kannada? What he will now say? Uta. Correct? So now you got the meaning of that word. Lunch is equal to Uta in Kannada. Correct? Same way, there are so many different terminologies in Kannada. Word by word, when you start understanding it, what we then do is, after few days, you start forming small sentences. This is what happens. Yes or no? Small sentences you will start building. But if the word's meaning is only not clear, can you directly form the sentences? Same way, when you're learning Java, the first thing that we need to understand, just like Kannada, just like English, just like Hindi, there are certain words in Java for which we need to understand the meaning of it. That's our first level of learning. Okay. So if I just type your Java keywords list, and when I hit on enter, you see that these are the total list of 50 words, which means unlike Kannada, English, Hindi, you cannot tell there are so many words I cannot remember all. Compared to those languages, your Java programming language has got 50 words, 50 only. If you understand the meaning of these words, then forming sentences will become easier. You will know when to use which word. Correct? Now you know the meaning of welcome in English. If somebody will slap you, you will not say welcome. You know what to tell. Example. Yes or no? Correct? The same way, when you know the meaning of these words, in Java, program writing will become easier. So these are all the list of words. We have public, private, protected, that goes on, goes on. We have something called as new keyword, class keyword. You scroll down and you see that there are a lot of words that's been given here. Fine. So give it in one table. Give it in one table. In one table. See that? So this is where we have the complete keywords in what? One table. So we will start our journey today with a very important keyword called as class and new. We'll understand what is class and what is new keyword. So let's start with the example now. Now let's assume, guys, there is a factory that I've got which manufactures pen. Okay, so this is a machinery. Now this machinery has one generate button. Let's assume this way. This has one generate button. Now when you click on this particular generate button, when you click on this particular generate button, one request will go to the machine and this machine will manufacture one pen. Okay, it'll manufacture what? One pen. Now if I press this generate button 10 times, then this machine will get 10 requests and it will manufacture 10 pens. If I now here press this button 1000 times, then obviously this will end up generating now 1000, okay, pens. Sir, why are you talking about this? Because based on this analogy now, we'll understand how a class and new keyword works in Java. When I say keyword, which means it has some meaning given in Java. Like any words that are present in dictionary of English, it has a meaning. I'll call that as keyword, like welcome, thanks, fragile, hello, hi, right? So all of these things are keywords in English because they have predefined meaning in dictionary. Same way, any word in Java that has a predefined meaning is called as a keyword. That 50 list of words, it has some meaning, they're called as keyword. Did you understand? Now, what is class and new here is simple. I will now replace this generate button with a new keyword. And the machine that you see here now, I'm going to replace this with class in our analogy. And pen, I'm going to replace this with what? Object. Now observe. What happens is, whenever I use this new keyword in my program once, so this new keyword will send one request to the class and the class will generate one object. Suppose I use this new keyword 10 times. Then 10 times a request is made to the class, and for every request the class will generate one object, 10 objects. Suppose now I press the new keyword 1000 times, how many requests will go to class? 1000. And the class will end up generating now 1000 objects. If I press the new keyword 10,000 times, how many times the request will go to the class? 10,000. And the class will end up generating, which means the first purpose of this keyword new in Java program is to send a request to the class. And the purpose of class is, whenever it gets a request using this new keyword, it will end up generating an object. What it will end up doing? It will end up generating what? An object. Fine. Now let's understand further more things. I hope till here, did you understand the first analogy, students? Did you all understand the first analogy? If I'm using new, it means I'm making a request to class. When the request goes to class using new keyword, the class generates one object. Wait, why are we generating object? What's the purpose of object? Okay, why we should use objects? These are all questions you will have. Wait for some time. Day one of our class, only slowly you can make the progress. Now, the next thing is, any programming language or any language, we have syntax. Like end of every line in English, we keep a full stop. Correct? We will use exclamation. We will use a question mark, paragraph, new line. Yes or no? There are syntaxes we follow in English. Whenever there's a question, what you will do? You write a question and put one question mark. There are grammatical rules. These are all the things that you see. Same way in Java, we have certain syntaxes that we should understand. When to use curly braces, when to use parenthesis, and when to use semicolon. And this covers 95% of your syntax in Java. These three things. Now, when do we use a curly brace? So let's understand here. When you create a class in Java, right? When we create a class in Java, what we will do now? I'll write here class. You give it a name and you define the boundary of class using curly braces. You tell class begins here and this class ends here. Are you understanding what am I telling you? How do we define a class? We use this keyword class, and when I say it's a keyword in Java, they should all be written in lowercase. You cannot write this in uppercase. I'll come to that conventions in a while. But for now, one simple pointer, keep your class names, new keyword, and all that 50 keywords that you saw should only be written in lowercase letters. So this tells the class begins here and the class ends here. And this is the boundary of the class. Okay. So now I want this class to generate an object. I want this particular class to generate what? An object. Sir, how to do that? So in order to do that now, I'm going to create here a class, and then after I will simply write here. I will simply write here. Okay, new. Now why new is used? Why we are using new? To make a request to a class. What's the class name here? A. So I'm applying new on A, which means I'm telling new keyword is putting a request on class A. And this class has to generate an object. So I'm using parenthesis and semicolon. Right? The object creations is successful only after the syntax. How? Observe. When I now use this new keyword, it means it is sending a request to the class. Step 1. And this class will generate one object. Sir, where is it generated? For now, understand somewhere on RAM memory, but later we will learn stack and heap memory in Java. Okay, so when I use this new keyword, I'm applying request on class A. This class generates an object, and semicolon is like full stop in English. Every line in English will terminate with a semicolon. Correct? No? Same way. Again, if I now write down new A, what does it mean? A request is made to the class. A request is made to the class, and this class will end up generating one object. How many times new keyword used? 2 times. So which means 2 times request is made to class, and the class is generating how many objects? Very good, 2 objects. Suppose again if I write down new A, third time, again the request is made to the class, and this class will end up generating an object. 3 times new keyword is used, and 3 times objects are generated here. Okay, did you understand these things? Now see, if you don't understand the meaning of words in Java, you can never be a good programmer. If you want to be good at speaking any language, the first thing is the meaning of word is important. Otherwise, what the opposite person is telling you will not understand. You will not be able to also read and understand your Java code. This important, okay, understanding keywords becomes. Let's continue further. Okay, let's continue further. Now, let's take one simple scenario. The scenario is now, one day, your grandfather, just before dying, your grandfather, just before dying, one day he says, I have kept 500 crores for you somewhere, and dies. What he said? Repeat the statement. Your grandfather, one day, he said, I've kept 500 crores for you somewhere, and he died. How do you feel? Understand the question nicely. How do you feel? हाँ? बहुत सैड फील होता है. हाँ, पिछला क्लास अटेंड किया था डेमो. Right, because some people attend previous demo class and then they come offline and attend. So some people are telling sad, unhappy, but some people will tell why unhappy. Okay, सबका टाइम आएगा, सभी को एक ना एक दिन तो मरना ही है. Yes or no? ठीक है, he became old, he died. Tomorrow I'll become old, I will also die. But now some people analyze smartly. Now what they analyzed is, grandfather said, right, sir मैं job ही करता, what is that, उतने, हाँ लीव इट, मुझे आप समझ में नहीं आपने क्या लिखा. मेरे को सीधी सीधी भाषा समझ आती है, बच्चों वाली भाषा समझ नहीं आती है. क्लियर क्लियर. ओके, सेज वेयर इज दिस 500 करोड़, नॉट 5000 करोड़. 5000 करोड़ तो आप ही को हार्ट अटैक आ जाता. 500 करोड़ ही मतलब दिल पे बोझ नहीं ले पा रहे. 5000 करोड़ मतलब यहाँ दादा के तुम उस तरफ चले जाते थे. दोनों का देहांत एक सिंगल फोटो फ्रेम में, जॉइंट फोटो, खर्चा कम होता. नाउ अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल यू इज, the grandfather said 500 crores is somewhere. I felt happy. I felt very happy. But after some time I realized he did not tell me where is this 500 crores. He did not tell me the location of it. And when you don't know the location, where is this money kept, can I use that money? No, no. When anything is kept somewhere, I should know where is it kept. If I don't know where is this been kept, I will never be able to use that. Now your 500 crores is like that object. That object is being kept somewhere, but I don't know where is it kept. So I cannot reach out that object. I cannot go to that object. I cannot use that object. The same way, the program here, the program here, right? नहीं आपने क्वेश्चन समझा नहीं फरीद. He's telling उतना पैसा होता तो जॉब क्यों करता. You did not understand. Your grandfather has given surprise before dying. Till then you are poor. So understand the question properly. Okay. Anyways, now this analogy, what are we trying to tell? What are we trying to tell is once the object is being created, this object's location I don't know. Object is created somewhere on RAM, but I don't know where is this object. And if you don't know where is this object, how do I use that object? That is the question here now. That's where the further explanation becomes very, very important. See this here. I'm creating a class A. Now listen very carefully. I'm going to write here new A. Now what will happen? When I do this, this new keyword sends a request to the class. So what does it mean? I'm applying new on class A. This class A generates an object and this is end of statement. So when you make a request to the class, this class generated one object on RAM. It generated one object on what? Now step number 2 is after the object is created, somewhere on RAM, some memory location wherever it was free, we had some memory space, somewhere on RAM, object got created. That object's address, our new keyword is getting it back. Listen very carefully now. There are 3 steps happening here. Step 1, we are sending a request to the class. Step number 2, class creates an object. Step number 3, wherever the object is created, our new keyword is getting that address back. Who is getting the exact address of the object back? New keyword. Who is sending a request to class? New keyword. Who is creating object? Class. But object is created, then address of object who is getting back? Now once you get an address back, I have to store that location of object somewhere. And for that, in Java, we will create something called as reference variable. Reference variable. Reference variable is like a visiting card. If today anybody is asking me where is your office, I will just give them a visiting card. And that visiting card has my office address. Yes or no? So this reference variable that I will create now are meant to store only address. You cannot store anything else apart from that. So how to create the reference variable? I'm going to write here the syntax is again the class name and the variable name. Now what will happen? Listen. Yes, I will talk about heap. Right now, I'm using a layman terms approach. Later, we will, instead of RAM, I will use heap memory, stack memory, and I'll take lot of examples on that. Hold on. Day 1. Okay, slowly we have to proceed further, isn't it? Now observe. Now, step 1, new keyword sends a request to class. Step 2, class creates an object. Step 3, you store an object, you get the object's address. And step 4, the new keyword takes that object's address and stores it into X. So where is the object's address finally present in? So if I want to locate an object using X, I can locate the object. Let's see this here once again now. Let's see this here once again. So I'm going to write here new A. Now by doing this, what's happening? We are sending a request to the class. This is our step 1. Step 2, the class will generate what? An object. Step number 3, it will give the object's address back. And that object's address, I'll store it in a reference variable y. I'll store that into the reference variable what? Y. Did you understand these 4 steps? Now, whenever I want to locate an object, I can use Y. Is this clear till here? Please comment in the chat box. Online students, please comment in the chat box. Is this clear? Right? Is this clear? Fine. Very good. Now, let us continue further. Then I'll take you through the notes. I'll take you through what? The notes in Java. Okay? The soft copy of notes, how you can access that. But now the next thing, what we guys are going to do here is this. Now I'm going to take another analogy for a quick understanding. Then we will type the code. Okay? So firstly observe here. Whenever you look at this class, now the best analogy comes to my mind. The structure of the class is just like your books. The normal books. Okay? Books, images. Now if you look at any image of the book, if you look at any image of the book here, let me paste this in here. Now what I see here is every book has an outer cover. Every book has what? An outer cover. Every book has what? An outer cover. That's the outer layer of the book. And inside that book there are pages. Yes? And there is something called as the page numbering. This is the first page you will read, then the second page, then the third page, then the fourth page. Right? And in this book again, one more thing, if you observe, if there is a some word underlined, right, in the bracket it will be given. To know the meaning of this word, you please refer so and so section of your textbook, which means from that page directly you'll go to that section, you will see what is the meaning of this. Again come back and read. If you look at the structure, is exactly the same way how we write Java programs. The only thing is the way we have been seeing our Java programs is so different, and we never realize that it is creating a book. Actually, you create a book, so that should have an outer cover, and every outer cover has pages, and inside the pages is what we write the content. And the book has first page, second page, third page, and fourth page. Yes or no? Now understand. Whenever I create a class, this class is considered as an outer cover of my book. Are you understanding now? And inside this class is what we add the pages. We add what? The pages. And without these pages, I cannot write the code. Are you understanding now? So this is like an outer cover. Class A is like an outer cover. And that class has multiple pages. But how to create pages? So to create the page, either I might use a concept here called as a method, or I might use a concept called as a constructor, which we will all see in our further classes, right? Which we will see later. Let's not get confused. But when I add a method in my class, it's like adding one page. If I add two methods, imagine now I'm adding two methods. How many pages are there? Two pages. If I add three methods, how many pages are there? Which means if you now look at the structure of my class, it says, okay, there's an outer cover and this cover has three pages. Now we need to understand which is the first page, which is the second page in this, which is the third page. And the day you start understanding that, you know the flow of program. You know how to read your programs. Yes or no? Yes? Agreed or not? Come on, please tell me. Everyone, online students, please tell me. Do you agree with this part? Yes? If I add 100 methods in that, how many pages my book consists of? But now in this 100 methods, which is the first method will run? After that, which method will run? After that, which method will run? If you start understanding that, the flow of programs understanding becomes easier. Let's start with our very first example now. So I'm going to use this Java online compiler for now. Since we don't have any IDE, I will use here this online compiler called as JDoodle. Is this clear? Now I'm going to delete this all, delete this all, delete this all. Now please look at, I have a class, forget about public keyword. Today's focus is only class and new. I will teach you this in my separate classes. For now, understand there is a class which is empty. Will you ever purchase a book without pages? Think about it. Will you go to a store and tell, please give me outer cover of the book only. I don't want pages. Definitely nobody will do this. Whenever you purchase a book, you want at least one page in that. At least one page. Minimum. Maximum it can be any number. Minimum one. So this is an empty class. And now when you run that, you see that it gives an error. Understanding the programming language, it's giving an error telling there are no pages in that. There is a method missing in it. Method not found. Meaning there are no pages found in it. There are no pages found in it. Are you understanding now? Okay, you are running a class which has no pages. It has no meaning. Take, I give you an error. This is a book with 0 pages. First mistake done. Then it says, our error message itself gives us a solution. Look, a Java program has one main page from which the program starts, page 1. Always your Java program will start with page 1. And it has given that method name, public static void main. Trust me, we don't know what is this horrible looking syntax for now. Simply copy paste for now, because every word requires one class to learn. One class to learn. You cannot now focus on that. And this is the boundary of my page. Now if you look at this code, properly, observe, I can tell that this class is an outer cover, and inside that outer cover, I now have one page added. Did you understand now? So can I tell there is a book with one page? But trust me, we don't know what is public static void main, string args, what's that square bracket. For now, ignore that. We minimum want one method to run my class, and that's main method. Is this clear? Everyone, online students, able to follow? Now let's add this up and run this. Execute. Observe what's happening. What's happening? So I added a book cover. In that I added one page. Error is gone because one page is there. But now there is no content in the page. So can you read something? Will you read a blank page? If you do that, then people will doubt on us whether this guy is proper. His mind is proper. Can you read a blank page? You added a book cover, you added a page. Now in that page we have to add something. No. So let's add our first code, which is called as creating object. A1 is equal to new A. This is what the syntax I started explaining. Tell me what are the 3 things this does. What are the 4 things it does, by the way, not 3 things. What are the 4 steps it does? Come on, repeat. Yes, tell me. It sends a request to the class. The class creates object, step 2. Object's address it gets. And then step 4 stores it in A1, the diagram. Now let us print A1. Now how to print? So we use here system dot out dot println. Now how do you read a book? Line by line? Line by line? Or do you read the book first line and last line only? Usually when you read a book, how do you read? So this is a page. This page, this is line 1. This is line 2. This is line 3. And when you reach line 4, that is the end of page. There is nothing further to read. Program has to stop. Which means program starts here. Then this line will run, this line will run. And when it reaches the closing bracket of that page, end of page, stop the program. Now when I run this, is it printing address of A1? Observe here, observe here. You got it how it got the address now? Everyone? Did you all understand this part? So now if you look at here, what I explained just now was this. When this line runs, it is sending one request to the class. This class is generating one object. That object's address new keyword gets it back and finally stores it in. And when I print A1, it tells me what's present in A1 here. Did you understand now? If I now remove this method, what will happen? It's a book without pages, I cannot run. I added a page, I added the content in that page, and now I'm running it. So doesn't it look like a book actually? Yes or no? Let's continue further now. Now, let's say I again write here A2. Can you tell me how many objects are created? So how did you decide? How did you get to know there are two objects? How did you get to know there are two objects? Please tell me. How did you get to know there are two objects? Because there are two times new keyword return. And now I'm printing A1. Let me also print the address of A2. Now let's see this here. Execute. Yeah. How many addresses printed? So it started here. Then this line executed. Then this. Then this. Then this. End of page. Program has to stop. You're reading pages and stopping. You're not reading outer cover. Do you do that? You read page 1, page 2, and then you go to the outer cover of the book and you're seeing that also and reading it. What outer cover has got? Nothing. This outer cover is only keeping all the pages inside it. Did you understand this part? All of you? Now, initially you can practice the programs in this online IDE. Then later we will install tools, IDEs. What all IDEs I will cover? Eclipse, STS, IntelliJ. We will look at all the modern IDEs required to build the code. Okay, now let's continue further. Now, if this part is clear, okay, online students, assuming this part is clear, now what are we going to do is the next part, we will go through our notes quickly. So this is my GitHub account, and in my GitHub account, you guys are going to go to this repositories section. I'll share the link with you. Do not worry. Now, when you click on this, here you will see some Java notes that's been added up already. Now, when you click on that, there are notes given in systematic manner. Let's read that for now. Okay, observe. What is a class? Class helps us to create object in Java. In Java, we use class keyword to create class. Keyword should be in lowercase. Example. We define the boundary of the class using flower brackets. Did you understand this part? Tell me. Did you understand this part? Yes? Okay. Now, we are going to start with the naming conventions of the class. Okay, let's start with that now. See, whenever you give class a name, okay, we are making our understanding about now naming conventions and program writing better. We just now understood class, new keyword, but long way to go to understand this more clearly. We've just started. But now there's something called as conventions. Conventions means whenever we create a class, if the class has two words, is this readable? Can you please look at that and genuinely tell me? Immediately when you look at, are you able to understand this word? It's taking time. Yes or no? It's taking time for you to break that word. You're not able to understand that quickly. But now what if I make this capital B, I make this capital A, and I make this capital N? Now, is it readable? Is it readable or not readable still? Readable. Whenever you give a class name, understand if there is only one word in your class, then simply give that class name starting with capital letter. But if there is more than one word, then every letter, for every word, first letter should be uppercasing. Every word, first letter. Every word, first letter. Do not give any space in between. This will not work. This will give you an error. Okay. So observe here. I'm simply using some ID whichever was open for now. And let me show you that here. Observe. Observe. I'm giving here. I'm giving here. Okay. Some class name. Okay. I'm giving it as bank. For now. Okay. Observe. Is the error gone? I'm starting off with capital letter. Now I'll give it as bank account. Bank account. Observe here now. Is the error gone? Yes. But now when I give a space, what do you see? An error. You cannot have any space. If I start with a number, what do you see? Error. I'm keeping a number here. Do you see any error? I'm keeping another number here. Any error? Right? Let me rename. Any error? No. Did you understand now? You can start your class name with a character only, not a number. Rule number one. Rule number two, your class name should always begin with a capital letter. There should not be any space between the words. Got it? Okay, these are the basic simple rules. And avoid using an underscore. However, it will work. But that's not the convention Java developers will follow. Underscores are allowed here. Also, in Java, dollar is allowed. In Java, what is allowed? These two things can be used, but you should not do that. Whenever you create a class in Java, class name should always start with uppercase. If class name has more than one word, then use camel casing, that is the first letter of every word should be in uppercase. Example, bank, correct. Bank account number, correct. Bank account number, incorrect. Why incorrect? Very good, there is a space. Now, snake casing should not use for Java. What is snake casing? Using an underscore. It looks like a snake casing, see? Yes or no? So this Python developers, they use it. If you're a Python developer, we go with snake casing concept. But Java developer, camel casing. Is this clear? Now this will work. This will not give error, but you should not do that. Class name cannot start with a number. Error. Why error? Starting with a number. Class name can start with a character followed by number. This is correct. Do not use special characters like hash, at the rate, percentage, ampersand, etc. while creating. Dollar class name will execute but never create a class with special character dollar. This is allowed, but you should not do that. So this is correct, but not recommended. Did you understand that now? Everyone? Okay, very good. Now for creating objects in Java, this is what we are doing here. Can you just analyze this program quickly? Are you able to understand this program? Some readability of the code. Are you able to do that? Please see. Please see this. Yes, online students. Yes. Any doubts? Any doubts? No doubts? Okay. Now observe. Now let's read about new keyword. Read this new keyword. Using new keyword, we send request to class to create object. Once object is created, new keyword will get object's address and stores that in a reference variable. Can you read this loudly? Both the points once. Read it. Point number 94 and 95 loudly. Make sense? Next. The syntax to create object is you give a class name, you give a variable name equals new class name. Like we did A, X is equal to new A, parenthesis and a semicolon. Yeah? Now, I hope till here things are clear for all of you. Any doubts, questions, queries, do you have it here? Or are you all clear with this now? Now observe, this whole program, I'm going to now teach you some debugging, basically how we can analyze the program line by line. Okay, we'll start with the slow steps. Later I will make you install this IDE and you have to keep doing debugging by yourself and understand the flow of code by yourself. You should not ask your friends, can you explain this code? So how do we do that? So firstly, I'm going to add main method. I'm using shortcuts. I'll all teach you this. I'm creating an object and then I'm just printing A1. Now you want to understand this program line by line. So which line you want to stop your program and from there continue program line by line. So I will just double click and put here something called as a breakpoint. Once we install this IDE, you will double click here and put one breakpoint. Then you see here there is a debug icon. Just click on that, proceed, and what it will do now, okay, it will stop at that line. Can you see that? Can you see that now? which line number am I at? 5. Now I want to know which line will it go from 5. My program flow is like from line 5, which line will it go to? So you see here, there is an option called as step over. So it will just now tell me that, okay, you're at line 5 and now line 6 is running. But what's happening at line 5? What happened at line 5? You see the specs icon and you see here the symbol. Just click on that and you see after executing line 5, when I click on that, it says one object got created and inside this variable, this is the object's address that got stored. Okay. Now this window is very important. There are 3 sections in it. The first section will help us to understand what all variables are getting created and what values are getting stored in it at each step. Right now there is only one variable A1. So what is being stored in that A1, I can see that here. And breakpoint tab tells where all the breakpoints are. I think I put the breakpoints in other programs as well here. This is here. I put that here as well, which I'm no longer using it. Right? The breakpoint I have put only where? Line 5. Are you understanding now? The breakpoint is at what? What is breakpoint? When you start your program in debug, your program stops at that line and there are various controls. I'm going to teach you all. I've just started with one very basic control. Every line what happens we can analyze with this. So at line 5 what happens, I analyze that. See, again I'm showing you. Double click to remove, double click to put. Click on the debug icon and now it stops at line 5. I want to know when I step over what just happened at line 5. At line 5, when you click on this, a variable got created with this value. Did you understand that now? Now again when I step over, it just printed the address. What happened at line 6? At line 6, simply it printed the address of what? A1. Now I'm closing bracket of what? Main. Closing bracket of main, it means what? End of page. Nothing further to read. So if you step over, the whole program terminated. Can you see that? The whole program got what? Terminated. Exit. The program stopped. At which line it stopped? It started at this line and it stopped at this line. Are you understanding now? Everyone? Okay, now let's do one thing. A2 is equal to new A. Now, this one we can analyze. There is no debugging required for this. But trust me, the skills are very essential when you join the company. Thousands of lines of Java code is there. Now you cannot analyze that with pen and pencil. Please understand that. This analysis of code can happen only when you know debugging. Right now I'm trying on a program which debugging is not required. I can analyze manually. But in actual, there will be thousands of lines of code which you need to debug. And if you don't know to do that, you cannot understand what's happening at each line, what logic is being developed by some other developer. Let's start. Which line will it stop at? 5. Now see, open this window. Is A1 created? No. From line 5, I'm going to line 6. What got created? A1. Now I'm at line 6. What line 6 is doing when I step forward? It created A2. This variable tabs is telling me that look, there are 2 variables created. Now I'm at SOP. When I now step over, it printed the value of A1. Step over, printed the value of A2. Closing bracket of main method, the program terminated. The program stopped. Did you understand this part? Students, please tell me. Did you understand this part? Students, please tell me. Online students. Yes, everyone. Now understand, when I keep making programs bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, you will not worry as a student to buy hard programs. You will just rely on one simple technique. I know debugging, I know the controls, and I will do that. But we will slowly have to incorporate that in our learning and make our understanding better. Sir, I will make you install all these tools. I will take you through the installations and shortcuts. Ananda, see, I want to analyze the program in slow motion. line by line, every line what's happening I want to understand. So firstly, when you put a breakpoint here, what it means, when I run in debug mode, I want to now stop my program here. See, program stopped at line 5. Can you see that here? Can you see the section here below? Which is the line number it has stopped at? See, it says suspended breakpoint. The program is not running further. Okay. Now from here I want to analyze line by line. Correct? Yes. I'm going to give you in every tool debugging. Every tool that I'm going to use, I'm going to teach you debugging in that. So now observe here. This window tells us which variables are getting created and what values are getting stored in it. Now I'm at line 5. When I proceed further, which variable got created? Because there are 4 steps that took place. Send a request to class, class creates an object, take the object's address and store that in A1. A1 got created. When I move further from line 6, which variable is getting created? A2. When I now go to line 7, this line simply prints the value of A1. See? And it simply prints the value of what? And closing bracket of main means program is stopping. It's a very simple program, but I know how to now go slowly line by line and keep checking basic things and understand that every line in my program is doing what. Are you understanding? Yes, everyone, online students, Ananda Reddy, did you understand this part? Please tell me. So let's proceed further. We have already covered 100 lines of notes today. Got it? This is how the notes coverage will happen. So we will not go with writing here. We'll save time. Are you understanding now? We'll save time. Now what you need to do is, after you go back home, you'll again watch the recorded class. After watching recorded classes, you will take a book and prepare handwritten notes. Are you understanding? You have to go back home and then prepare a hard copy of handwritten notes. Sir, why like this? Because only that can make your syntaxes clear. Are you understanding, guys? If you want to understand Java in a better way, you have to firstly write on a sheet of paper. So in a book, all the notes you have to keep writing it. And more when you write, you start getting familiar with your code syntaxes that we are using there. Okay? Is this clear? Yes. So further, next class of mine, I'm going to start with non-static instance and object variables. We'll be looking at that. You will practice in online IDE only. For now, only I will use debug to make you understand things. But later, I will also teach you the controls of debugging after installing the IDE. Like there are a lot of shortcuts which we should be familiar with. As a developer, every tool shortcuts are very important, right? So that all technique we should understand. Fine. So slowly when any bug is there in your project, you will debug and find out that which line has the problem. And then we will give a solution at that line number. There's a lot of controls. Yeah. Yes. Why not? See, please understand here. I've already mentioned my syllabus very clearly because all my syllabus is set based on the place students interview question. You see there is a notice board on the left hand side. We keep putting interview questions there. And we try to match our syllabus based on those interview questions. So whenever a student gets placed, we take handwritten questions from them. And these questions will be shared with you. That right now in interviews, these questions are being asked. My syllabus and interview questions given by placed candidates, if you combine, out of 10 interviews, getting 1 or 2 offer letters will not be difficult. Please provide those notice. Yes, everybody will get in the WhatsApp group. Don't worry about that. So guys, Monday, I'm not going to take class. I'm going to give holiday because of Republic Day. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? I will be back on Tuesday. And when I'm back on Tuesday, we'll continue from here further. You start analyzing whether you're able to learn or not. Now, one very important rule is the YouTube lecture that I provide and the GitHub link that I'm going to share with you today. After watching the video, You have to please share your feedback in the video. Comment. Whether you understood the video, did not understand what happened, you're going to do that. Is this clear? Otherwise, next class I'll not put on YouTube and give it to you. I'll just take live class and go. Is this clear? If you don't like the video, put a dislike. It's okay. You like it, put a like. That has to be followed. Second, every class I'm going to put a poll. It's not so hard that you just go to that poll and tell what happened in today's class. Are you understanding, guys? So today's poll will be like, in your chat group, when I post a question, give me the clarity on core Java classes. I'll get to know my audience, whether you're able to follow me or not. Are you understanding? And you're going to give me the feedback on that, selecting the comment. This was good, excellent, understood everything. It was simplified. We understood today's class really well and we'll follow this. You can do this throughout the class. See, that is the transparency I'll be maintaining here. Our WhatsApp groups are open, numbers are open, everything is kept open there in the group. So even a single class, you understand or not understand, you have a group out there to post your questions there. Are you understanding, guys? So we'll start from today. Will you participate in that? Is it so hard? Huh. So that's not here, not here. People are liking it here. Understand what trainer is telling. In the WhatsApp group, I'm going to post this particular thing. And in the YouTube, you have to follow this particular thing. Okay? Otherwise, there's no point me being in group. I'll not even know what's happening with student. Since you're not asking any questions in the class. And hopefully you will not ask any questions also. Assuming I'll simplify the classes. Best of luck, guys. Take care. See you again the next class, that is tomorrow. Another 1 or 2 minutes.